God didn't give you the Bible just so that you can know who he is. God gave you the Bible so that you can be aware of how the world operates, of how humans operate, because you are a spirit having a human experience. Without awareness, you will continue to be ignorant. There is a whole section in the Bible purely about wisdom. Proverbs. All of the people that are speaking will teach you about the world and how it operates. I went to a museum today. Mind you, I met my brother for the first time this year. We met up and went to a museum today, which was mad cool. I really enjoyed the experience, and I'll go into that later. Point is, at this museum, there was a lot of weird, odd stuff in there. Okay? I'm very spiritual. Happy that I finally started embracing it. Because your discernment has to be up everywhere that you are, in places as simple as a museum. So I'm looking at the art. Some of the art look a little odd. I'm like, what are you expressing and what tapped into you? There was this one painting. It wasn't even a painting. It was a sculpture of a demon. It looked mad weird. I don't like clowns. I don't like nothing about them. I don't even like clowns that don't wear makeup. The energy don't feel right. I don't like them. Never did. Never have. Never will. Okay? I turn the corner and I see this clown. And I'm like, that's weird. You get what I'm saying? Why? What sparked that idea? So I read the description on the wall, and this guy describes how this Celtic demon would be in his dreams haunting him. And he knows that it came from his experience coming to America from a different culture, and how bad his experience was because so many people picked with him and he felt odd. So he created this imagery of this demon clown doll within a sculpture and a painting because it visually described how he felt throughout his experience. And then in his description, he said, it's not that I'm trying to scare children or create anything scary. This visually describes how I felt on the inside with my experience. And he said the thing that is more scary than a demon is a fearfully ignorant person. What's scarier than a demon is a fearfully ignorant person, is what he said. Ignorance means you don't have the insight or the wisdom. It means you lack intelligence in a way. You lack awareness. So you would bully somebody who is different and cause them to go into a dark space because you're ignorant. Ignorance will cause you to operate in a way that is not godly at all. Now, before I continue, I pray that man gets set free from being tormented from his experience that he had in America. And I also pray that he comes out of agreement with the demon that was influencing him through his dreams. Okay? Because the sculpture he created is an actual demon. It's not something he just made up. He thinks he just made it up. It's an actual demon. Okay? So I pray that he gains wisdom. Because even he is ignorant in a way. Although he has wisdom too. The point and the purpose of me saying this is ignorance will cause you to operate in a way that works against God. I was telling my friend, because I've been noticing, a lot of us are tired. Tired of doing the right thing, tired of trying to figure out what God is saying, tired of trying to figure out if we even in right standing with God, tired of trying to figure out if we even doing this right. Just tired. I found myself in that place. A lot. And the more that I sit and reflect, the more that I talk to God, the more that I have those moments where I don't hear God, I don't feel God, I don't even know what's going on. Like, hold on, am I on the way? What do you... Hey! Like, have I not been... The more that I have those moments, the more that I recognize God wants me to tap into awareness. The devil is repetitive. And if I'm not aware of myself, if I'm not aware of the world and how I operate, if I'm not aware of how this works, and I'm constantly in my feelings wanting it to work a different type of way, I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to lose my patience. I'm going to question God. I'm going to be in confusion and say, God, where do you want me to move? Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? What is going on? It'll constantly be a thing because I'm unaware of how this works. The devil don't change his game. He don't change the way he operates. My homegirl was saying, I know God is trying to use me. And it's like every time I get into a space where I'm insecure and I'm lacking the confidence to really carry this mantle that God has called me to carry, I just shut down. I shut off from everything. And it frustrates me because I know God wants to use me, especially in that area. And the very area that he wants to use me in is the area that I run away from the most because I don't feel confident. Then I had a moment where I was telling a friend, like, man, this mantle that God got me carrying feels so unrealistic and so heavy. Sometimes it feels like I can't carry it and I'm not equipped enough to handle what God is calling me to. And it feels like a lot, so it frustrates me. It's overwhelming and I don't know what to do. Then in the midst of me expressing that, and this is why you need to get in a conversation with people, because where two or more people meet, God will surely be. My spirit started shifting. Holy Spirit started talking. And I started to recognize I'll never have it all together and I'll never fully be confident, and I'm not supposed to be. If I had it all together and I knew exactly what to do, exactly where to go all the time, I wouldn't have no need for God. I got this. I know what to do, how to do it, when to go, where to go. I'm fully confident. I can carry it. I can handle it by myself. I wouldn't even have any need to ask God what he thinks about this deal. I got it. Does this mean I won't have clarity about certain moves and certain things? Yeah, I will. But I'll still have to lean on God in those moments. Life is not what you think it is. You will get to many places and many heights and you'll still question everything. You'll still get to the place of fatigue where it's like, God, I'm tired of doing the right thing. That's inevitable. God hasn't given you the Bible. He hasn't given you this wisdom. He hasn't sent spiritual leaders and prophets and encouragers. He hasn't sent this for nothing. He sent it to give you awareness and insight. Because without awareness and insight, you'll continue to keep crying and murmuring and complaining about how life is going while you keep getting caught up in the same thing. You have to be aware of how you operate. And that does not mean you're just going to completely kill off your inner child and forget all the trauma you've ever been through and you're just going to be perfect. It don't work like that. Awareness is important. Because it brings you to a place where you know how you operate. Or how you can operate if you don't keep it in check. You need to know where that comes from, why that is. Because that's going to be the very thing that the enemy uses against you every time. And if you are ignorant to where it comes from or why you operate in that way, you'll just keep going with it. And you're going to end right back up in the same cycle. That's how it works. That's why awareness is important. God didn't give you that Bible and all of Proverbs that's full of wisdom without reason. He gave it to you so that you can be aware of root issues, of where it comes from, of what it is, of why it is. You are a spirit having a human experience. And if you do not know how humans operate, you will be confused. The reason you need to know how humans operate is so that you know what is your spirit and what is you. Your human you. The reason you need to have awareness is so that you can know how the world works. I spent so much of my life trying to change the way the world works. Trying to change the system. You don't change the system. You change the people operating in the system. And they switch to the system that is above that one. That one doesn't go anywhere. It's still going to be there. I rode through my old neighborhood the other day. And there's still kids climbing through the hole in the fence to go to the neighborhood next to it. Same as we did. Same as we did. You get what I'm saying? There's a whole nother way they can get in that neighborhood. It's two different systems. That one's always going to be there just like this one is going to be there. Now, what you can change is the people that's going that way. Hey, you know, it's a whole nother way you can go into this neighborhood. You don't have to go through this hole right here. You don't have to do it this way. This way actually can get you caught up. this way can get you bound. There's a whole nother route you can go. It doesn't mean that system has died. Doesn't mean that system is gone. It just means there's another way that's above this way, to where you can have the things that you desire, and you do not have to give up your integrity. You don't have to give up your peace. You don't have to give up your joy. You don't have to grow weary in the suffering. You can have joy in it because you know it's not in vain. You don't change the system. You shift the people's perspectives that are operating in that system so that they can go to the system that's above that one. And they can operate in a different way. God has given us wisdom so that we can be aware. This is why solitude is important, and you must reflect on where you have came from and what you have been through, as well as where you are. You can't be just so quick to rush towards the future and what's next if you don't even know what is trying to come with you. A lot of us are tired, weary, frustrated, lacking patience, losing sleep, trying to figure it out when we haven't even done the thing fully that God has called us to, because we don't even feel like we're equipped enough to handle it. It feels too big. I was just talking to my homegirl about lack of confidence. You have to go to the root. You have to reflect on the way that you cope whenever that insecurity comes back up. You have to go back to where that came from. And that doesn't mean you're going to completely destroy it. It's just going to go away. It means you're going to become aware of it. So that when that comes up, I got a Bible verse for you, baby. I have a different coping mechanism for you, baby. I'm not going to cope the same and go right back into that cycle and into that place. I'm not, so the enemy can't keep catching me up that way. He can't keep me bound because I'm aware of bondage. I used to try to change the world in the way that it operated so bad. I was like, I don't understand why people are like this. I don't understand why the world is like this. Why can't we just all operate this way? It used to confuse me. It used to piss me off. I had a righteous anger about it. And I used to try to literally force people to change and force things to be and force the world to operate a way that it's not going to operate. Because God already said this is how it is. You're here to dominate it. Dominance just means you on top of it. You on top of things. You running it. You're not allowing it to run you. You know your place just like you know its place, and you keeping it in its position. When you become aware of how it works, it won't even move you that much because you're aware of how it works. The first thing you have to conquer is yourself and how you operate and how you move and how you work and how these cycles keep you bound. When you become aware of the cycle and how you're in agreement with it, you can get out of it. You have to partner with God, not just complain about the suffering. It's not going to feel good. You're honoring your spirit. You know how long we've been honoring our flesh? You know how long we've been feeding our flesh? You know how long we've been dressing up our flesh? You know how long we've been affirming our flesh? Do you know how long it has been? Your whole life. It's not going to feel good to honor your spirit. You know how long you've been suppressed? You know how long you've been trying to live up to other people's expectations for your life and it don't even feel right, but you keep going with it because you're used to that? You know how long that has been? It's going to feel like you're suffering because you are. But you have to find joy in it. And don't be so caught up in your mind to the point where you're overthinking it. Life is not what you think it is. It doesn't require what you think it requires. God don't even require that much. He just requires you to be the version of you that he has foreordained for you to be. And in order for you to be that version, you have to honor your spirit, and you can't just honor it lightly. It has to be a lifestyle. God's not calling you to shift your diet for no reason. Your mind's going to clear up. You're not going to feel full all the time. You're going to be able to wake up early and not be tired still. He's not calling you to go work out for no reason. He's not calling you to go paint, to go sing, to go write, to go back to school. He's not calling you to prepare to be a wife or a husband for nothing. He's calling you to that position because it aligns with who he has foreordained for you to be. It takes you out of agreement with who you've always been because you were taught to be that, because you took on a false character to survive. because you were in ignorance. Awareness is going to free you from ignorance. God has given you this wisdom to become aware. He has not given you this wisdom to hide behind it and create an identity off of it so that you can survive off the gift of gab. No. He hasn't given you it so that you can manipulate people into having your way. No. He hasn't given you it so that you can make yourself the smartest person in the room and you still feel dumb. No. That's not what he's giving you these gifts for. He's giving you these gifts so that you can be a part of the shift. Because perspectives are being shifted. Tax brackets are being shifted. Ways of being are being shifted. Generations are being shifted. You are a part of the shift. But if you keep coping incorrectly with this suffering, you're going to continue to be the one that needs to be shifted. And I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect and you're just here to shift everybody else. Yes, you're still going to have to go through shifts yourself, but not in the way that you've been having to for so long. You have the wisdom for that. You've experienced that enough to apply that and for your life to change, you be able to teach somebody else, but you don't even trust yourself to stand in a position of leadership because of shame, and you've been holding yourself to a position that tells you you're not equipped enough to teach or to stand in that area that God is calling you to because you made a mistake. How would you be able to teach it? I'm not saying you got to go out here and do things in that way in order to learn that lesson. You can study the effects of their calls and you can apply that wisdom without ever stepping in it. But what I'm saying is you have been through experiences in your life that you can draw wisdom from and insight from and teach somebody else when you apply it to you. But if you keep running from the pain of that experience, you're not going to apply the wisdom because you're running from the lesson. Because of shame, because of heartbreak, because of insecurity, because of abandonment, because of rejection. You have dominion. You got to tell these things to get in their place, baby. You're the head and not the tail. Shame can't be your head. Pride can't be your head. Ego can't be your head. Insecurity can't be your head. Doubt can't be your head. Fear can't be your head. It needs to be underneath your feet. That's why God wants you to be aware. That's why he is taking you through training. I know you're tired. I know you can be in a place of confusion. I know sometimes you can be like, yo, God, I don't even understand. I feel you. Okay? I get you completely. Put your feelings to the side and work on what you have put to the side for your feelings. That's what's going to give you clarity, because that's your vessel. That lady in the Bible who was about to, her kids was going to get taken because she was in debt. I think her house is about to get taken. You know what? Let me put it into perspective. Her car was repoed. Her bills was behind. She lost her job. She lost her husband. She was in a place where she was losing it all. She had no clue what to do. And she felt like, you know what? I might as well just go ahead and die because I don't even got nothing that I can use. I don't have no money. I don't have anything. I can't even get hired for a job. Like, I might as well just give up. And God told her, you have something in your hands that you're not even using because you don't even see it as important because you're so used to being dependent upon these external things that couldn't even give you what you needed. I wasn't going to bless that because you were going to be dependent upon that. And it could only carry you temporarily. You get dependent upon the resource every time. That's why you got to be without anything. So that can shift your perspective to see that the very thing that you're carrying, your voice, the way that you process things, how organized you are, the way that you see the world is a gift. The way that you can encourage people, the way that you speak life, the way that you're detail oriented and you can put these events together that people wouldn't even think about. Event planner, interior designer, cake decorator. Come on. I just went into a museum where it's literally a building where people took their inspiration and they put it on a canvas, they put it inside of a building, and people pay to get in there. That's a gift. It's in you, not on you, not around you. In you. God is calling it out of you. That lady that felt like she had nothing and she might as well just give up on life, she looked around one more time and did an audit of herself and what was in her house, and she had a little bit of oil. Your oil is in you. Maybe you need to go take some of that oil that's in your house and pray Psalms 91 over it and Psalms 118, and you need to spread it over your house and yourself so that you can go inside of you and see that the asset is you. God is trying to invest in you. He needs something to invest into. You got to let him draw that gift out of you. Go buy the canvas and paint it. Put it on Facebook Marketplace. Charge $350 for it. Something crazy that you think people wouldn't pay you, just so God can show you it's in you. Go apply for school. Go apply for a grant. Make your business plan. Write the book. Write the book. If you don't have a laptop, write it with your hands. Go get a journal. It's in you. The experiences you've been through, the knowledge that you carry, it is a gift. God felt that he said, go out and get as many vessels as you can from your neighbors. Partnership, collaboration. He said, go out and utilize your community and ask them for vessels. Bring them to me. I'm going to fill them up. I'm going to fill them up when you get behind closed doors. Go out and have conversations with people and see what is the common denominator of what everybody is experiencing and start a conversation about it. Draw insight from the things you've experienced and come up with a solution. I will fill that thing for you. I'll fill that podcast for you. I'll fill that room for you. She brought her vessels inside. God, her oil didn't run out until her vessels did. She could have brought 3 times as many vessels as she did. God would have filled those 2. Don't limit yourself. Your mantle will feel so heavy. What God has placed in you to do will feel so heavy. It'll feel as if you're not equipped to carry it. You can't even do it. It seems you can't fathom it. You're not supposed to, because God said he's going to exceed your expectation, and this is a partnership. If you ever feel like you can do it without me, it's too small anyway. Go ahead, since you know it all. This is not for you to be self-reliant or self-sustained. It's for you to be in interdependence with God, in collaboration and partnership. It's for you to experience love in a way you've never experienced it, so that you can experience it genuinely, and you will not accept the first thing that that's offering you breadcrumbs and that's hiding behind love when it's lust and lack of trust. This is important for you to tap into you. It's important for you to analyze your internal self. It is important for you to conquer you. It is important for you to be aware of you and unapologetic about all of you. I don't play about people I love. And I don't love easy. So I can be emotional. I'm not going to hide that. And if I got to chase you down the street, I will chase you down the street to let you know that I love you. And I will scream it from the mountaintop. I don't care who see me or who hear me. I will pray and I will fast for you. Now, if it's not supposed to be, at least I said what I felt was necessary. And I'm going to honor my spirit if God is telling me to walk away and wish you well. But I'm not going to hide the fact that I am love. I know that part of me. That's why I know I have to use my discernment and take my time and not rush it, because I might slap you out your sleep if you play with me, because I love love. I don't want to put my hands on you. But now I feel like you playing me, and I'm having thoughts about putting my hands on you. That's not me. I'm not a violent person. I don't even like cussing at people or saying the wrong thing. I will apologize 1,000 times, because I know the power of words now. Because I used to be loose with my mouth. I know what's in me. I know how I used to operate. I know myself. I'm aware. And I'm aware because not only have I reflected on what I've experienced, and I've accepted myself and got out of shame and feeling bad about me, but I've read what God says about wisdom in Proverbs. A woman of folly will take her own hands and tear her house down. I don't want to be that woman. This is how God said that woman operate. I'm not that. He said that I'm this woman. Let me go to Proverbs 31. Let me be a virtuous woman. A woman of noble character. It's in you. It's not on you. Nipsey Hussle was in line. He's telling the truth. I stand behind him. I stand behind him because I know God placed that in him. God also said, if he sent you to a place, he's prepared it for you. If God goes before you, nobody can condemn you. Nobody can curse you. If you go to Jamaica, they say, who y'all bless, no man can curse. You can't curse me. So let go of that fear because of projected feelings. And be aware of yourself so you can step out unapologetically instead of watching everybody else be fearless and bold and you think you can't do it. You're tired because you're ready. Embrace it fully and fight it. And if God is calling you to rest or to solitude or to take a break, do it. But if you just honoring fatigue because you're tired or because you don't feel like it or because of your feelings, that's not God calling you to rest. That's your feelings calling you to stagnancy. You need to check it. Check the difference. And I'm leaving it at that. I think I said what was necessary to be said. And Lord, I thank you because I know this is for me too. And I'm going to watch this back and feel like you slapped me in my face. And I'm thankful because your love is correction. And correction don't always feel good. Accountability don't always feel good. Sometimes accountability feel like you get pepper thrown down your nose. And you can't breathe out your mouth. But I'm thankful for it because it makes me a better woman. And then I can share it with somebody else and to make them a better woman and a better man. And we can live we can live in a place where people have joy, God. And they walk around with joy, and they walk around with peace, and they're not mad all the time, and they speak when you speak, not just look at you crazy when you're walking on the elevator. What is wrong with y'all? So I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful. And Lord, if I have ever been that person on the elevator that don't speak, change my heart. Change my heart, because it's not a good feeling to walk past people that don't speak. And I don't even think it's because they're mad. I think it's because they're in their head and they don't know if they should speak or not. I don't know. But Lord, release us from every feeling that has overtaken our minds to the point where we can't operate in community.